Hello, happy Monday, everyone. Coming at you a little late today for our coffee chat. Excuse me, I just drank way too much water, way too fast. But it was just a busy day. I'm out and about with my family, and I took the kids to the art studio. Anyways, you don't care to know that. So I wanted to go over this because it's a kind of a question, and it's also like a big misunderstanding. So the programs that I am creating, I have created my postpartum program, and I'm working on my prenatal program right now. There are two things that I discuss, and there are two things that every human needs to understand. So whether you're prenatal, postnatal, whatever that might look like for you. Diaphragmatic breathing. So we have evolutionized as a society as a whole to be chest breathers. But when you are born, you breathe through your diaphragm, which is what you really breathe through. So when I talk to my clients about this, diaphragmatic breathing is literally just breathing. So you're just breathing through your diaphragm. And in order to feel that, you can put your hands here, because on your inhale, you will feel that your rib cage opening. And maybe you feel it more in your chest. So chest breathing is like literally just breathing through your chest, but that's really not the way that our bodies are designed to breathe. So if you are a chest breather, you probably have pain in places that you shouldn't have because you're breathing incorrectly. So the first step that I take my clients through is like, can you breathe through your diaphragm? Like that is the first place to start. So that literally is just breath. Like I said, sorry, the sun is right there, so there's a weird shadow on my face. So that's really where you want to start. And it's literally your stomach. So you have your core unit, which is right here, okay? So you have your diaphragm here, and then you have, it's underneath your ribs, and then you have your whole core. So I'm pregnant, so mine tends to stick out obviously a little more. And then part of that piece too is your pelvic floor. So when you're literally just taking a breath, when you inhale, it's just going to go relax, okay, and lengthen. And then as you inhale, it's just going to tighten up. But you're not contracting anything, okay? You're literally just breathing your breath. So you can practice it and just have your hands here and just feel that, because you'll feel the opening and the closing and the lengthening. The belly pump is more of an intentional, you're exercising, you're working your innermost core unit, which is called your TVA, your transverse abdominis. So that is the difference between the two. So your belly pumping is you're actually engaging your pelvic floor, you're strengthening, you're engaging your TVA, and you're doing that within breathing properly. So it's very focused, but you're not going to belly pump all day long. You want to first learn how to breathe diaphragmatically, number one. And then as you're going through your exercise program, especially during pregnancy and rehabbing after, you want to understand that unit. You want to know how to belly pump because you want to work your TVA. Your TVA is the biggest core muscle right here. It's a corset. It wraps all the way around. So it's not just like your six-pack abs in the middle. It's that whole corset. That's going to help you push the baby out. And that's what's going to help you feel strong and stable after baby, because things expand. So you want to keep that so you don't have separation and all of that jazz. And it's also going to keep your pelvic floor strong and healthy so you don't experience leaking or incontinence or anything like that. And in strengthening and learning to relax your pelvic floor during that belly pump, you're going to be able to relax it properly during the birth process so you can really reduce tearing. A lot of people have that. If you do it properly, very minimal tearing. My last baby, when I finally learned this process, when I got certified in pre and postnatal fitness, or corrective exercise, whatever you want to call it, I had zero tearing that third time. So it was awesome. But like I said, that's really the difference. So the belly pump is very activating. You are activating your pelvic floor and you're tightening. So the diaphragmatic breath is you're just breathing. It's just like you want to be able to do it naturally. So the belly pump, when you're inhaling, you're going to release everything the same way. It's on the exhale when you tighten everything. So you want to lift up your pelvic floor and you want to wrap all the way up. So you're going your hip bones, you're connecting, and then you're like zipping up. So you're wrapping that corset on that exhale, and then you tighten the ribs at the top. So that's the difference between the breath and the diaphragmatic pump, is on that exhale. The belly pump, you're actually working your innermost core unit. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today. And that's what I share in my Core Restore program. That's what I'm sharing in my prenatal program, because you guys, that's the difference. And if you think about it, when you have a baby, it's a major thing. And then you have one appointment with your OB after, depending on like the severity of what might have happened, and whether you had a C-section or vaginal. C-section is a lot more healing because you cut through that TVA, you cut through that muscle. But women are not being told, like, here is like a blueprint for you to follow, like here's to follow up with physical therapist and all of that stuff. They're not given that. And you think about major surgeries like on your knee or your shoulder, you get all this information, you meet with a physical therapist, and you do therapy right after so many weeks, or you typically start like a couple days after the surgery. Why are we not being given that? So that was really the reason why I designed my Core Restore program. Sorry, the sun is coming out now, so I'm squinting. But that is really why, so that you rehab properly from the inside out, because women are not being told this information, and you need to know it. If you want to heal properly, if you want to feel good and you want to feel strong, and you don't want to have aches and pains and incontinence and prolapse, all of that. So I will link my Core Restore program below for you, but it's so essential for every new mom to have it. It literally walks you through that blueprint that should be given to you. I want to reach a point where that's being given out to people at the hospital. Like, here you go. Like, this is what you need to heal. And the prenatal program that I'm working on too, it's going to lead you up to that, because prenatal time, perinatal, is so important too. You need to know the steps that you need to take to prepare your body for birth. Like, it's a big thing. It's an event that you're training for, and we need to be properly doing it. We're not being properly told the steps. So I'm off on a tangent anyway. So that's the difference between diaphragmatic breathing and the belly pumping. Diaphragmatic breathing is just breathing through your diaphragm, and the belly pump is the actual contraction where you're working the pelvic floor and your TVA, which, like I said, I go over in my Core Restore program. So there you have it. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out, and have a great Monday. I'll see y'all later.